Tonight, police and protesters clash on a Canadian campus. Calgary police in riot gear forcibly clear an encampment.
Did anyone, pay you or influence you to come here yourself?
And as rumors swirl that outsiders are fueling protests, we break down who's behind encampments at other Canadian universities. CBC learns Toronto is getting a WNBA team.
The little girl in me is just bubbling with joy.
What we've learned about where they'll play and when. An epic show lights up global and Canadian skies.
There are big, magical, sort of mysterious things in the universe happening.
The rare solar storm striking the Earth this weekend.
From CBC News, this is The National with Ian Hennemanson.
In Alberta tonight, pro-Palestinian protesters returned to the University of Calgary campus after demonstrators were forcibly removed by police last night. Their encampment dismantled just hours after it appeared. While most protesters did heed a warning to leave, those who didn't faced officers clad in full riot gear using shields and flashbang explosives to drive them off the site. Within minutes, it was over after several protesters were arrested. And today, some of those protesters criticized police for their use of force, but others, including Alberta's premier, supported the move. Erin Collins takes us through what happened and what the campus looks like the day after.
We shall not be moved.
This pro-Palestinian encampment up on campus for just hours, brought down in a flash and with a bang. Police moving in using force to remove students and their supporters.
It was entirely peaceful the entire time until the police showed up.
Protesters say officers left their mark.
A couple of us just got singled out, isolated, and punched and beaten on the ground for a while.
That police response leading to 5 arrests.
We will continue to assist the university as required to remove any further encampments and to remove anyone else who has been trespassed and refuses to leave that property.
The university administrators say students can protest, but not camp out, a stance supported by Alberta's premier.
It's already out of control in Ontario and Quebec and elsewhere, and the universities can't allow it to get out of control.
Similar encampments remain on campuses across Canada, some universities now threatening to remove them, but the University of Calgary moved much quicker.
The moment students set something up on our campus to exercise their charter rights, the university calls police on them and they get tear gassed.
But it wasn't always this way at the U of C. Protests once embraced here.
This is on the University of Calgary's digital archive website of an encampment that actually happened on campus in 1999.
This has happened before?
It's happened before. Students have encamped on campus to have political conversations about what's going on.
Woo! Students from last night's protests met with physical resistance, still undeterred.
There is no time to sit back and think about the consequences, to sit back and think about what we experienced, because the people of Palestine were never afforded that right.
Back on campus today, but at this rally, the focus is on praying, not staying.
And Erin, what are we hearing from protesters and students today?
Yeah, well, Ian, they're clearly not happy, right? They think that the police went way too far, and they're disappointed that the university administration called the police in so quickly. So what now? The student union, they're calling for a leadership review of the university's president. That protester that we heard from in the story, the one that got hit in the face, he says he'll be pressing a complaint against the police. And protest organizers, well, Ian, you can see, they say they're not going anywhere.
Erin Collins on the University of Calgary campus this evening.